Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of Gentlemen's Club Whiskey. I am your host, Mr. Mark Antimate, the pontiff of Japanese whiskey and your Tokyo godfather here. Today we have a head-to-head versus between the Manhattan and the Old Fashioned. I'm not sure how your mixologist makes it today, but I'm not following their recipes. I got ancestors, my brothers in time from back in the day, in which I'm following their recipe from over 100 years ago. The recipe that this guy in particular uses is from the year 1919. So we are going to talk about that. Before we get on to the head-to-head taste comparison, I will tell you guys how this is made fairly quickly. I have all my notes up. First off, we're going to be talking about the Manhattan cocktail. You're going to take a mixing glass and you're going to have it half full of ice. And you're going to put 2 dashes of orange bitters, which I use the Angostura orange bitters. Most of the mixologists today, they're going to use this one, the Angostura aromatic bitters. But this recipe in particular calls for orange bitters. So I have this one right here that I'm using for that purpose. Let's see. 1 jigger of bourbon whiskey. If you guys want to know what a jigger is, this whole thing as a whole is called a jigger, but also the long piece is called a jigger while the short piece is called a pony. You're going to take the long piece here and you're going to fill it all the way up to the top with bourbon whiskey, which is 45 milliliters, and you're going to dump it inside of your mixing glass. My whiskey of choice that I'm using to make this with is the Maker's Mark Stave Profile number 46, 94 proof, 47% ABV. And you're going to fill the mixing glass also with 1/4 jigger of Italian vermouth. I use the Martini brand Rosso red vermouth. Don't get this confused with the French one because French also makes vermouth, but they are 2 different distinct tastes. You want to make sure that you get this red one right here. Can't go wrong with it. And if you want to know what 1/4 of a jigger is, I don't actually have a quarter measurement inside of here. It just goes 15 milliliters, 30 milliliters, and you know the top is 45. Well, if you flip it around to this pony end inside of here, I have some markings. And it says 10 milliliters and 20 milliliters. This 10 milliliters inside of there is equivalent to 25% of this 45 milliliter jigger. So we're going to go ahead and fill that up 10%, and you're going to put that inside of there of the Italian vermouth. It says a little syrup if desired, and I do desire it because I like sweet things. I use this famous old grenadine brand, Monin. This is traditional grenadine from France, and it adds a very sweet taste that, yes, you can taste inside of there. So I was very generous with that. I think I put another 10 milliliters of this inside of the mixing glass. Finally, you're going to stir it, strain it into the cocktail glass, and drop a cherry in, which I have done, and serve it. Really quickly, how to make the old fashioned. You're going to take a whiskey tumbler, which I have this Kirin glass. I have Mount Fuji down inside the bottom of that glass. I hope you guys can see that. That's quite cool. 1 teaspoon of sugar, which, yes, you can taste. It is a prominent taste. I use 1 sugar cube, which is 1 teaspoon of sugar. 1 tablespoon of water, 2 dashes of orange bitters. As you can see, this is in both of these drinks. They share some of the recipes of both of these drinks are consistent between the both of them, and one of them being the orange bitters. 1 peel of lemon, which I have here. 1 or 2 pieces of ice, which I have put 2 pieces of ice inside of there. 1 jigger of whiskey, which I use the same, the Maker's Mark Stave Profile number 46. And you are going to top it off with a slice of pineapple, orange, and cherry. I'm allergic to pineapple, so I just went ahead and just used orange, the cherry, and of course I have my lemon inside of there. Let me go ahead and put these down. All right, on to the taste test. Let me go to my notes about these. Try not to drop anything here. You guys know the contemporary bartenders of today, they have those cup-shaped martini glasses, which I'm actually using the old-fashioned martini glass that's in a triangle V shape. Much more easy for it to spill out. You know, you pour a drink for a customer, their initial sip, they have to lean over to the bar like this, stick their head over the glass and sip a little bit so that they could create a buffer line so that when they pick it up, it doesn't go spilling out everywhere. And that's what the cup-shaped martini glass is for, to keep it from overspilling. But I like that classic aesthetic, but I don't like the fact that it spills quite easily. Still a good drink, but a little bit bitter, that one is. And the old fashioned, a lot sweeter of a drink. So I'm going to read from my book verbatim. I wrote, if this were jazz music, this is what you would refer to as a standard today, a competitor to the old fashioned. It's a true classic that has withstood the test of time and is still popular 100 years later. It comes together with a trio of complementary ingredients that brings out a bold richness of fruit flavor. The orange bitters are what I tasted first, followed by the bourbon and then the vermouth. The drink goes through the color gamut spectrum of orange to purple in your mouth with oranges, berries, cherries, and grapes. And then there's that herbal character along with new wood in there. It's a complex drink that delivers in a big way, but a lot more bitter. And between the two, I'm just going to say it, I love both, but I like the old fashioned a little bit more because it speaks to my taste palette of sweetness just a little bit more. Let's go ahead and talk about the old fashioned real quick. So this is what I wrote inside my book here. In tonight's double header of a tasting, I only had arguably the 2 most popular whiskey cocktails, the Manhattan followed by the old fashioned. I really can't say which is better. Well, actually I can now, because from the time I wrote this book to now, I have discovered I do appreciate the old fashioned a lot more. I can only state they're different and both good in their own unique ways. What the old fashioned has going for it that the Manhattan doesn't, the pretty notable sugar and lemon zest. Even with the sugar, it has a more natural taste to it, though Julian has you winning no matter which way you want to go. So both extremely good drinks, but I said that this one has a more natural taste to it, which it does for some reason. It tastes like its elements, whereas this one tastes a little bit more bitter, and somehow it has just a little bit more tad of an artificial-like flavor to it. Natural flavors. I appreciate this one more, but both extremely good drinks. Let me go ahead and close out this video. I'm going to have these cherries. Delicious. That cherry just sobbed up all that flavor inside of there, just soaked it up. And you could taste it when you chew it. Anyways, it doesn't matter which way you go. You can't go wrong either way. I would like to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, yada, 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 if you want to see more videos like this in the future. I got more head-to-head comparisons of cocktails and whiskeys and other things coming up, so stay tuned. And thank you guys for watching. Salute to you wherever you may be out in the world. Make sure that you guys drink responsibly because this stuff will mess you up. Respect the drink. Sip it. Don't chug it like it's a tequila. And anyways, you guys know what to do. Keep it classy.